What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Zoku Natsume Yuujinchou, this time with episode 9. Really awesome episode last time out, focusing on an old woman who thought she gave an immortality. I don't know what I was going to say there, but she was going to give some immortal blood of a of a mermaid to a kid, well, someone older than her, but someone that she cared about who was ill and was dying. It turns out it was just the placebo. It was grape juice, I think the mermaid said, so all was well and good in that, but a bit of a miracle there, to be honest with you. I think it's almost one of those things where your hopes, and again the placebo of doing something good for someone, just like works out. It's quite amazing. I did a study on placebo effects when I was in college, and it's quite amazing how powerful an effect it is, to be honest with you. It certainly caused a discrepancy in results in the tests I done. I think it was around like 20% change or something, which is amazing how your mind affects things so much. But yeah, it was a lovely episode. It was really quite depressing seeing the old woman so sad, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was a great episode. One of my favourites this season for sure. Yeah, do let me know what you guys think of this one down in the comments. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. Can't quite remember what we got for today. I think I remember seeing a kind of female form of a yokai, but that's pretty much it. We've got some kind of yard sale. Well, the equivalent. I used to go to a few of these when I was younger. I don't remember what they're called. Daruma doll, as well as Yanko Sensei. So I've never really noticed that before, and Natsume's got quite predatory eyes, I think. That's quite cat-like, I don't know. They're definitely not human. Maybe what I'm trying to say. I can't remember if, I don't know if it's wider or longer that means it's more predatory, I forget. But their eyes, predators' eyes are usually slightly different and usually accompany for a slightly wider kind of field of view. And they're designed to like focus and prey as well. I'm not an expert on it, as you can tell. But yeah. Like owls are a good example. They can view a lot of with their neck. They can view a lot of field of view. Shower of flowers. You know what animal I've always really liked? Anteaters. I've always thought they're really cool. Bit of a messy sleeper, our Natsume, isn't he? And it happened again. He's got some kind of curse of flowers. The painting. Well, the painting is a yokai. Maybe that's what it is. The it's almost like the flowers and branches and stuff are like flying through the painting into his room. Oh, come on, bro. You can't be saying that. Yeah, I totally agree. On the scientific thing. We literally met a mermaid last episode. I'm fully expecting to see a fairy in upcoming seasons. It's like it's not a bad thing to happen, to be honest. I mean, you've got to clear it up, which is maybe slightly annoying every night. But it's like it could be doing a lot worse than chucking flowers on you. It's actually quite nice. Quite funny how that insult Yatsune does sound a lot like Natsume. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, he was actually doing his job. Or sensei. There's someone in the painting? Is that what the deal is? There is. Asaka-sama. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oi, that'd be assault on us. The hell? Does he become comfortable here or something, do you reckon? Oh dear. Mia. Did we get any explanation why she was chucking flowers on us? Oh, at least she's asking to come in now. Oh, I genuinely thought she just dropped nothing into her hands just now. That's pretty nice. She's a nice girl, isn't she? Come on, there's a few beautiful butterflies. Let them fly around for a bit. I do like a butterfly. I like moths and butterflies and stuff like that. Dragonflies. All sorts of insects, to be honest. They're all quite cool. I've heard of. Well, I haven't really, but it's another one of those things I've seen from like Yu-Gi-Oh and a few other sources about just like I'm not sure if it is a Japanese like myth or legend or something. It might very well be, but just like a random arm. It sounds very generic, I know, but there's just like random arms, just like from the sky, or like especially in that position that she's in, just like holding down. I've seen there's a Yu-Gi-Oh card there's a few Yu-Gi-Oh cards that kind of cover something like that. So I imagine that it might be some kind of like a story based on just like a random single arm coming down from seeming like the heavens or the trees or something. Again, I'm not fully clued up on it, but like I've seen the image of that more times than would then it would be considered just a coincidence, if you know what I'm saying. Probably more to it. There's another person that can see yokai. Again, I mean, it's one of those things where. Sorry to pause again. It's one of those things where with shows like this, I think with pretty much every show, it's one of those things where we actually have seen quite a few people that can see yokai. Funnily enough, haven't we? Whereas it's like meant to be a very rare thing, of course. But it's one of those things of we wouldn't be watching an episode if there wasn't if that makes any sense. Like a lot of the content is seeing other people similar to Natsume and such, and it's one of those things where if something like this doesn't happen and we wouldn't get this story, it would just be kind of like boring, if you know what I'm saying. There wouldn't be too much to kind of tell if you actually made it as rare as it is to see yokai. So it's almost like we only tune into the happenings of this world when we not every time we see someone that can see yokai. I mean, of course we meet characters that can't, but it's gonna happen more often than it should because of the content, if that makes any sense. It's one of those things people complain about, stuff like this, of like, oh, this thing and so is meant to be super rare and hard to obtain, and these people are really rare, yet we see it so often. It's like, if you use your head, it's yeah. It's kind of like almost the same thing as people explaining how their powers work and such. Like, we need to know. I worded that horribly, but hopefully you understand my point there. So I think Japan has got especially some beautiful flowers and stuff, haven't they? Beautiful trees. So is he still human in there? He's just hiding in a picture. I imagine he's not human, right? He was. So again, is he actually in that? And if he is, bring the frogs. Okay, if he is actually in there, is he now a yokai or is he still human? he dead? What is the deal? How long ago was this as well, by the way? Because again, yokai have some very large lifespans, so and their sense of time is, yeah, very different. So maybe this was ages ago. Sinister Shadow. Oh damn, that doesn't bode well. Thanks. Oh, that's not good. And she's just calm, talking to no one. The annoying thing as well, because I think when you're a kid, you can actually get away with like imaginary friends and stuff. Maybe not in Japan. I mean, he even got ridiculed then as a kid, but it's much easier to get away with talking to yourself and imaginary friends than at this age. You're not a yokai, but yeah, the sentiment's still there, isn't it? It's almost like the same thing. That's been a point this season's made quite a bit of. The end of last season as well, talking about his carers right now, the people he's staying with, knowing about his sight of yokai. He's hiding it from them. I do imagine we'll have more of a focus on that as we go along. Some lovely places she visited, weren't there? Akabakashi. Better not let your... Oh, she can't see that. I was going to say, better not let her see that. So that's affecting him now. Do you reckon... We haven't got too much longer. Oh, we've got a couple minutes. I was going to say, do you reckon this will be a two-parter? Probably not. Yeah, sure fucking is. Ruining a house like this. Although, she's a lovely woman, so I don't think she'd care that much. I like that idea. It does look quite dreary, doesn't it? But being all leafless and such. Oh, we're drawing the walls. Well, they're actually going to paint on the picture. Now this shit will fucking be on there, right? Well, actually, I think this is like yokai paint, if that's a thing. She brought the paint, so I imagine it's yokai paint. God damn. You know what? That's actually like a really cool thing to have on your wall, to be honest. If that is like there. This is an interesting transition. It's almost like with PowerPoint transitions. I haven't seen that one for a long time. Oh, it is just an ordinary painter. I imagine it's that. I imagine they're I'm not sure what to call it, but they've been like released from the world, perhaps. When they find like satisfaction, they get like released. I don't know. I'm not really sure what to make of stuff like that. I'm not sure if it's like with like curses and ghosts and such. It's usually like the case of there's something that's like keeping them like unfinished business or some kind of like negative emotion or something that keeps them kind of down in the human world before they kind of go up to heaven or hell or whatever it is, move on, go into the void, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure what it is in this show. I think yokai are slightly different in that regard. They're not just like your ghosts in that sense. They are sometimes like revered like gods that people pray to and such. Sometimes they are like just the spirits like animals and such. Like again, I'm not fully clued up on it. I'm not sure it is a case of like we obviously have seen like yokai and such like move on to wherever they go in this show, but I wonder if these two did. And I'm not sure if there's like a certain condition you have to meet to do that. As again, is it to achieve satisfaction? I don't think so, because we've seen some pretty satisfied yokai that are still here. I don't know. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Decent episode today. I think it had some really nice backgrounds and such, didn't it? Really colourful. Not the most emotional nor kind of encapturing kind of story that I've had so far at all. It was still a good episode. Got really short for some reason. Didn't feel as comprehensive, even though it's like the same length episode as we usually have. Wonder why that is. Yeah, it's the same length as usual. Really strange. Okay, so we'll go next time. Temporary house. Oh god. Aliens. Ah, why does the animation style look slightly different? I'm not sure if you guys are seeing this. Like that shot there, especially of Yanko, looks quite a bit different animation-wise, doesn't it? It looks a little bit like wonky, but I kind of like that kind of style. It reminds me again of like One Piece's sixth movie style. Yeah, the animation looks slightly different this episode. I mean, to be fair, I feel like in today's episode it looked really nice and looked the same as usual. There was that quite funny PowerPoint presentation transition, but I almost think that's a thing of like those transitions were always a thing, and then PowerPoint came along, and obviously Microsoft PowerPoint is very popular. They copied a bunch of transitions and such from movies and other sources, and unfortunately they've now just been known to become PowerPoint transitions and like text. You guys all remember like the classic kind of blue wavy text and stuff like that from like PowerPoint. I used to use that all the time. Yeah, the animation style looks really a lot more fluid. It looks a little bit rougher. I mean, look at Natsume's face right here. It looks slightly rougher than usual. This was released a year after the initial season, so maybe it was just like a thing of maybe these latter episodes towards the end of the season are perhaps a little bit more rushed and a little bit less time spent on them, animation-wise perhaps. But I actually quite like it. Like I said, it actually looks really smooth in a few of these scenes. Maybe it's because this is also, like I said, this is like last, so maybe they're rushing it a bit, but also these episodes maybe warrant a bit more animation as well. But yeah, we haven't had scenes like those two last scenes. We haven't had scenes like those at all throughout the show so far. Maybe this is also showing us the kind of evolution into the kind of animation style and such we have today, with more shots like this. I like this Nanko one. And Yanko one's awesome. But then again, like the character shots like Reiko there look exactly the same as usual. So if not, maybe even better. So yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, not my favourite episode today. Just a kind of run-of-the-mill episode, in my opinion. I didn't resonate with this one as much or anything. There was some beautiful visuals in this episode that I will say, maybe some of the most beautiful kind of settings and shots that we've had in the series thus far, to be honest with you. But like I said, not as touching as a story for me. I really liked this Mia girl here. She was cool, but just felt, I don't know, it almost felt like the episode was, it almost felt like a 15-minute episode, strangely. It just didn't feel as deep as maybe some of the other ones, but yeah, I'm not really sure how to explain it. It just felt shorter for some reason. Do let me know what you guys thought about this one though down in the comments. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll see you guys next time with episode 10.